Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Jewish Phenomenon by Steve Silbiger explores a long-asked question: why have Jewish communities, despite centuries of displacement and discrimination, so often produce outsized achievements in business, finance, science, and culture? Written for a general audience, the book frames its answer through 7 practical keys that connect history, religious tradition, minority experience, and social habits to economic resilience. Rather than presenting wealth as a mystery or a matter of genetics, it emphasizes learned behaviors such as education, portable skills, networks, and ethical rules that shape trust and long-term thinking. Silbiger also touches on the role of immigration patterns, urban commerce, and philanthropy in building community institutions that reinforce opportunity. The tone is explanatory and motivational, aiming to translate cultural lessons into actionable strategies for readers from any background. As a result, the book functions both as a cultural analysis and a self-improvement-oriented guide to building stable prosperity in uncertain environments. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, education as the central asset. A core theme is that education becomes the most reliable form of wealth when property, land, or political security cannot be guaranteed. The book highlights a tradition of literacy and study that is not limited to elites, linking religious practice, communal expectations, and family priorities to widespread reading, debate, and skill building. In this view, learning is not merely a path to credentials, but a habit that trains reasoning, communication, and the ability to adapt to new markets. That adaptability matters because many Jewish communities historically lived under changing laws, shifting borders, and periodic expulsion, conditions where portable knowledge outperforms fixed assets. The book also emphasizes education as a multigenerational project. Parents invest time, money, and status in schooling, and children are socialized to treat learning as both duty and advantage. Readers are encouraged to see education broadly, including apprenticeships, mentoring, and practical financial understanding. The takeaway is that sustained prosperity often starts with prioritizing knowledge that travels well, compounds over time, and equips people to move into higher-value work as economies evolve. Secondly, portable professions and entrepreneurial flexibility. Another major topic is the strategic value of careers and businesses that can relocate quickly and operate with limited dependence on local rulers or land ownership. The book connects historical constraints, such as restrictions on owning land or joining certain guilds, to an emphasis on trade, finance, professional services, and other occupations where expertise and relationships matter more than physical territory. Over time, those patterns can cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset, identify unmet needs, price risk, manage cash flow, and build reputations that extend beyond a single neighborhood. The discussion also underscores flexibility in the face of disruption, whether that disruption comes from politics, technology, or market cycles. Skills like negotiation, multilingual communication, and cross-border thinking are presented as competitive advantages, especially in cosmopolitan cities and emerging industries. For modern readers, the point is not to copy a specific occupational distribution, but to adopt the underlying strategy, build a career portfolio that is resilient, diversify income streams, and develop capabilities that let you pivot quickly. In uncertain times, the ability to move, retool, and restart can be as valuable as any single business idea. Thirdly, community networks, trust, and mutual support. The book emphasizes how tight-knit communities can convert social cohesion into economic strength. Through shared institutions, mutual aid, and repeated interactions, networks can reduce transaction costs. People find jobs faster, access mentorship, pool resources, and extend credit based on reputation. Trust is portrayed as a practical asset, enabling collaboration and long-term partnerships, especially in environments where outsiders may face barriers. The book also discusses how communal structures, including charitable funds and associations, can act like informal insurance systems, helping families recover from hardship and protecting children from losing educational opportunities. This kind of support is not framed as purely altruistic. It is also a strategy that stabilizes the whole group, preserves human capital, and maintains upward mobility. At the same time, the network effect rewards contribution. Individuals who help others often gain access to information, opportunities, and partnerships. For readers, the lesson is to treat relationships and reputation as assets that require consistent investment. Building communities of practice, professional circles, and mentoring chains can create compounding advantages. Ethical behavior and reliability become economically meaningful because they strengthen trust, which then unlocks cooperation and opportunity. Fourthly, money management, risk awareness, and long-term thinking. Silbiger links enduring prosperity to habits of financial discipline and a culture that treats money as a tool rather than a taboo. The book suggests that practical knowledge about pricing, lending, saving, and reinvestment can be transmitted through families and communities, creating a baseline of financial literacy that supports business formation and wealth preservation. Risk is not romanticized. Instead, the focus is on calculated risk, diversification, and the ability to evaluate uncertainty. A long-term orientation appears in the preference for investments that compound, in building businesses that can outlast a single generation, and in reinvesting in skills and education. The discussion also points to the importance of adaptability in financial strategy, such as maintaining liquidity, preparing for downturns, and avoiding over-reliance on any single patron or market. For modern readers, these themes translate into actionable behaviors: track cash flow, understand debt, save consistently, and align spending with goals. The broader message is that wealth is often the outcome of repeated small choices made with foresight. By combining prudence with initiative, individuals can create stability while still pursuing growth opportunities. Lastly, values, ethics, and the reinvestment of success. A final topic concerns how moral frameworks and cultural norms shape economic behavior. The book argues that ethical rules can produce practical benefits, honesty supports reputation, fair dealing strengthens networks, and clear standards reduce conflict in commerce. It also highlights giving as a communal expectation, presenting philanthropy not only as generosity, but as a mechanism for sustaining institutions such as schools, social services, and cultural organizations that expand opportunity. This creates a feedback loop. Success is partially reinvested into the community, which then produces more capable, connected people. The book also ties resilience to meaning, suggesting that a strong sense of identity and purpose can help individuals persist through setbacks and rebuild after losses. For readers, the lesson is that values are not separate from economics. They influence trust, collaboration, and the willingness to think beyond short-term gains. Sustainable wealth often depends on being someone others want to do business with and someone whose success strengthens their environment. By pairing ambition with responsibility, individuals can build prosperity that is more stable, more portable, and more likely to endure across generations. In conclusion, this book is best suited for readers interested in cultural explanations of economic success, including entrepreneurs, investors, students of history, and anyone looking for practical habits that support long-term stability. It can also appeal to readers who enjoy learning how minority communities build resilience under pressure, since many of the lessons are rooted in adapting to uncertainty, valuing portable skills, and relying on trustworthy networks. The benefit to a reader's life comes from translating broad cultural patterns into everyday choices, investing in education, building reputation, strengthening relationships, managing money with discipline, and contributing to communities that, in turn, expand opportunity. These habits can improve career flexibility, reduce financial stress, and create more durable progress across life stages. Compared with similar personal finance or success books, The Jewish Phenomenon stands out because it grounds its advice in historical and social context, rather than only individual motivation. It frames wealth as a system of behaviors reinforced by institutions, family expectations, and ethics, making the guidance feel concrete and repeatable. For buyers seeking both insight and actionable takeaways, it offers a distinctive lens that can complement standard business and money guides. If you would like to support Steve Silbiger, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.